Matthew chapter 17 verses 1 to 9. While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased, listen to him." Jesus took Peter, James, and John his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, his face shone like the sun and his clothes became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased, listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate and were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Rise, and do not be afraid." And when the disciples raised their eyes, they saw no one else but Jesus alone. As they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, "Do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." Matthew often represents Jesus as the new Moses. Both led their people to freedom and salvation. Moses also took 3 companions up a mountain, and on the 7th day it was overshadowed by a shining cloud of God's presence. Jesus, too, took 3 with him up the mountain, and the mountain was also overshadowed by a cloud. Moses spoke to God and his face became radiant. Jesus also was transfigured before the 3 apostles and his face shone like the sun. We hear Moses tell of the coming prophet, the Messiah, and he tells the people to listen to him. At Jesus' transfiguration we hear God the Father say, "Listen to him." We know that Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyes were not weak, nor his strength gone. Despite his age, Moses was still in his prime when he was called home. Moses was 80 years old at the Exodus and was with his people in the desert for 40 years before his death in 1405 BC. You will recall that Elijah did not die but was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. This took place during the reign of King Josiah 641 to 609 BC. Both Moses and Elijah appeared with Jesus at the Transfiguration. Moses had died about 1435 years before Jesus began his ministry, which is another proof of life after death. Elijah did not experience human death but was taken up or assumed into heaven by God. There is a difference between Elijah's assumption and Jesus' ascension into heaven. Jesus' ascension means that he raised himself up, under his own power, because he didn't need to be saved. Elijah, on the other hand, did need a savior. In this case, the savior was God himself. Mount Tabor is thought to be the site of the Transfiguration. As you can see, it is a short distance from Nazareth. It is so close you can look down from the mountain into the city of Nazareth. The mountain was a natural place of beauty. A mountain was often associated with closeness to God and the readiness to receive his word. God had appeared to both Moses and Elijah on mountains. In the 1920s, the Franciscans built the Church of the Transfiguration over ruins of a Byzantine chapel. In front of the church are the remains of the ancient church. At the foot of the mountain is the little village of Nain. There Jesus raised the son of the poor widow from the dead. Through his transfiguration, Christ shows us the glory that will be ours in future, if we remain faithful to him. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verses 7 and 8, "I have competed well, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. From now on the crown of righteousness awaits me, which the Lord, the just judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearance."